WayofFlowingTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So in this episode, what we're going to do is discontinue this farm. It has served us very well, very well, and I'm thinking that it's probably a good time to just leave it, well, in the dust, so to speak. We got enough wood, saplings, and etc. These saplings we might use in some distillation over there. Not the correct word, I know, but let's move on anyway. So what we're going to do instead is try out one of the new forestry multi-block farms. This will give us some freedom in how we get everything done. Now, these multi-block farms, I think it'd be best to make them as the biggest size as possible. What I want to really do is have some automatic walnut pickers so that we have an easy enough way to collect all of the goodies that we need. So another thing I'm noticing is that this area can't be fully chunk loaded because this stuff is kind of, dead in the water, so to speak. So let's expand our chunk range. It's going to be a bit much. Let's see, show lasers, please. Okay, now it's occupying that area where it wasn't before, so let's take that out of the way. Okay, so let's get started. Now, some of the stuff is not shown in NEI. Unfortunately, when you click on it, there is no way to determine whether it's actually working or not. Well, there's an easy way to determine that it's not working, in the fact that it's not showing anything. Oh my, imagine that. So, one of the things that we need are a bunch of electron tubes. We're going to go with the biggest size that is possible, and it's 10 electron tubes. So let's see how many we're going to need. The biggest farm size possible is 5 by 5 by, I believe it's 5. No, I'm wrong. It is 4. 5 by 5 by 4, so that's 100. Each of these are going to need 100 electron tubes. So let's see, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's very quick in getting this stuff back. Is it not automatically filling from this inventory stuff? No, it isn't. That's stupid. Why are you not doing that? Okay, so let's go with the more automatic approach. We're going to need 64 of those to start, and a lot more redstone, which is an unfortunate thing. Then again, we might not be low on redstone as much as I thought we are. So 32, we are going to need 4 more. There we go. So we got all of the electron tubes that we need. Let's go find a project table. Let's go with the one that's downstairs because that'll be the best area to work with. So project table over here. The recipe is that it needs the stone bricks. It's going to need the slabs. So we're going to need some more slabs, and all of the electron tubes will go here. It also needs a lot of copper. So it's going to need ingots of copper. If it was 2 nuggets, that would be a lot better. Chicken McNuggets. I wonder if it would actually work with chicken nuggets. We could always try using the Thaumcraft furnace and see if that works, though I don't think that is exactly the best way to use that thing. Let's go a little speedy and get 2 more from there. There we go. And then we're also going to need some wooden slabs anyway, so might as well gather all of those in the meantime so that we don't have to go back and get it, because frankly that's a pain. So there we go, and let's get another set. Heck, let's go full steam. And I got wooden buttons, which is not exactly what I wanted, though it is technically what I asked for, seeing as I clicked it and everything. Okay, so now getting all of these parts is only going to be one part. We're going to need to make a gearbox so that, well, there's multiple things that the multi-block structure needs. Obviously, the base brick, so to speak, is the farm block. That is a main thing. Now, there's also the gearbox, which supplies energy. There's the farm hatch, which allows one to take items in or put them in. Sorry, take items out and put them in. And then there's the valve, which I believe is for water, and then control, which when you send it a redstone signal, it stops completely. So we're not going to go for the control one since I currently don't think there's any use in doing so, but it's at least worthwhile to make this as big as possible. So, okay, we got 43 there, and we're going to need a few more. And what are we lacking that cause that? This. And probably take that out of the way, this and that, la la la. And we got all 100 that we need. So 40 and 60. Now, we have to go with the farm gearbox as well as the hatch. I'm thinking I'll make 2 hatches just in case we need them. And the valve, because that'll need a source of water. I'm thinking that we'll use the aqueous accumulator for the water. That's quick enough. Then again, it's not able to catch up with this. So we will need to use another aqueous accumulator. Especially, well, we have to find a location for this, really. That's one of our objectives. And then we have to get a nice pit so that we can get the wiring a little nice. And we also have to have it near enough to this general area that it's within the chunk loading range without expanding it. Now the multi-block can go with a radius of 8. 8 from the center. So if we have the center, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is a little too close. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Actually, this is a good place to put it. If we put it right here, pretty much, it will be good. And we can have it its own segregated area by having the 8th block going like here. So I'll count out the area, and I'm thinking that we'll want to have it so that the dirt is... Because basically what happens is that when you place down the multi-block structure, it's going to need stone bricks, and it's going to place the dirt or whatever material it uses, humus, and it'll place it on top of the brick. So we need it so that we have a flat area as well so that we can put the bricks in the area and have the dirt flush with the ground. So let me scope out the area, and then we can get that working. Okay, we have the general area that this farm will need, the huge bounding box, and we're going to need a few things such as water supply and all the like, but we'll probably go and get that after we get all the gearboxes, hatches, etc. made. So we need a bunch of tin gears. If we check tin gears, okay, this is probably the tin gear that we need. It's just a stone gear surrounded by, well, no, it's a stone gear surrounded by tin. Yes, that is the actual configuration. So we're going to need to get all of that, and this will help us make the hatches as well as all the other parts. The gearbox is definitely going to use these, obviously. Hey, I wonder, gearbox, does it use gears? Oh my! Maybe for ease of... And I forgot I had the jetpack. Maybe for ease of use, well, instead of going with that route, we'll go with gathering... We'll go with the iron gear thing instead of the tin gear surrounding the stone gears. That will probably be the best, and seeing as it's ore dictionaried... Is that even a word? Or dictionaried? I guess it's a word now. So no point worrying about it. So 3 for the gearbox. Let's go with an even 12. And then see if we can get this easily enough on the first shot. We're going to need some more wood. So let's get some more wood. And unfortunately I killed a lot of my wood by taking that. And why can't I grab from you? Can't do anything there. Extended fourth boot disc? That is odd. I've got a ghost item in my inventory. Sort. Drop. Bye-bye. Okay, so for some reason we had an extended fourth boot disk in there and it was messing with our inventory. So here we go. Let's see if we sort it and don't have any problems. Nope. Okay, one of the things that we're going to need also is a hatch. I'm going to go with 2 hatches because I think it's a good idea to have, well, we get 2 hatches anyway, so it doesn't matter. Trapdoor. Trapdoor, here we go. And trapdoor with 2 gears. And the farm block will create one of our farm hatches. So let's batten down the hatches and gather 2 of these. There we go. And gearbox is going to be an easy enough arrangement, just requiring this. And finally, if we have a gear and 2 glass as well as a farm block, we get the farm valve, which will allow us to, well, farm a bit using a bunch of water, hydration, etc. So let's go over and see what the best configuration for our multi-block structure is going to be. So one of the main things we're going to want is, I think it's called the Arboretum. The Arboretum upgrade, which will allow us to pick the fruit off of the trees without having to take the trees down manually. That is the main reason we're going with this. So we have to make an area which is going to be about this size, and we have to make sure that the holes aren't too monstrously huge. Dang drill. It's almost better to manually get these. It's so annoying sometimes. Okay, the exact center is here, as clearly marked out. X marks the spot, by the way. You should always know that. And we'll just quickly take this out of the way and then gather all the resources. And then this will be good. So let's make a bit of a pit as well, because we will need more room down here while we are working. And, well, this is where our drill goes wild. Drill's gone wild. That is not exactly the type of reality TV show I would want to see. So, farm valve, we'll have to get the farm block as our main building block so that we don't have to worry too much about all of that random atrocities. There we go, and I'm thinking that the gearbox will need to be at the bottom as well, so let's see. I'm thinking exact center for the valve. This will be where all of our water goes, and then right next to it we'll have the gearbox so that we can directly put in our energy. And keep in mind that this level, the bottom level, has to be at the same level as our stone bricks. So therefore it has to be 1 lower than ground. Okay, so the hatches, I'm thinking that the output for the hatches should go here. And we'll probably, if there's, well, we could possibly have input as well using these same hatches. Though it might be better to just do that instead and not have to worry about all of the insanity that will be all of the tubes. So let's get this, and now we have our base. So of course with the base we're going to have a bit more. Now we're going with the maximum size, so it will require all 100 blocks that we have. And fill up the center, because Zengear decides that we cannot have hollow multi-blocks anymore because those were too good. Okay, and we'll need a bit more. Just randomly spread them on because it's kind of like, kind of like standing on a liberal platform. Spreading manure everywhere. So, there we go. It should take a while, but as you should see eventually, there we go. The stripe represents that it is a functional multi-block farm, and then it starts as a managed arboretum. I think arboretum is what we want, though what I'm going to do is check on the wiki and see what we're going to need to get the one that manages the cherry picking. Okay, what we're going to need are some copper electron tubes. I think 1 should suffice, but let's go with 2 just in case. So copper electron tubes, and we're going to need to use this to make a circuit board as well. And it's going to be the medium-sized circuit board and also a soldering iron, because we do not have one of those yet in our possession, and it is required to get everything straightened out. So soldering iron, I'm such a sod, and all of the copper electron tubes that we will need. And these gold electron tubes can probably go into here for now, since we're not going to use them anytime soon, and they're going to be a bit of a waste of inventory space. Goodbye, cocoa beans! So, electron tubes and the soldering iron. I think we should go with the soldering iron first, so that it's not going to be so horrible. And thankfully we do have some spare stuff here, and I think forestry bronze will be this, and let's get some extra because hey, we're paying extra. Gosh dang it. Okay, soldering iron first. We need a carpenter and this bronze. Thankfully, no, let's go with the circuit board. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and there we go, circuit board. It's missing resources, which is redstone. Let's get the redstone from one of these inventories because, hey, it is that easy. Imagine that. For once in this miserable time, we actually get the redstone on demand instead of having to go way over there to get it. Makes you wish we had applied energistics, eh? So, we got an enhanced circuit board. I hope I got the correct one. If not, that's going to be a bit of a difficulty that I'm going to have to hurdle later. But oh well. So iron, 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 and bronze makes the soldering iron. And in the meantime, we'll create one copper electron tube from this. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 4. Guess it comes cheaper in quantity. That's probably Walmart's philosophy, or China. Okay, so soldering iron and the electron tube, and we go here. Hopefully this enhanced circuit board works. Yes, it does. So enhanced circuit board works, and we want to go for manual farms. The reason for this is so that we'll be able to easily manage what's in here. So looking here, you can see that there's 4 slots. The 4 slots for the managed or manual farms are north, south, west, east. So north, south, west, east. That'll be easy enough. So what are we going to want? We'll want north and west to be our good farms of electron tube needing. So let's see, manual farm, we'll go for orchard. And that is good. We'll just put in our there, and there we go. So we got our manual farm, and we just need to throw it into here, and it'll show orchard, orchard, and maybe we could have had the manage arboretum at a different point. Actually, we might as well. No. Can we do manual and managed at the same time? I don't know, really. That is a bit surprising. So we're going to need to get some energy, and we're going to need to get the output. Also, we're going to need to get the farmland, etc. It doesn't automatically plant the farmland, but it does manage it. So we're going to also need to have this out a certain way for all the stone bricks. So we're going to need some more stone bricks. I'll layer it, and unfortunately it's not. I'm going to have to look at the blueprint to see how much of a layering it is. I think it goes up to here, but I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, we busted through the wall and managed to get access to our gearbox. So our gearbox is going to require some energy, obviously, and we'll just throw it in here, and then we'll need to go way over there to hook it up. Now, first things first, aqueous accumulator. We'll set this so that it's an infinite spring, like so. And why do I have another water bucket? I don't know, okay? Let's just make it nice and pretty and do a ring around the rosy so that we don't have a pocket full of posy. That would just be very mean to the kids. Okay, so liquid ducts, we'll attach the liquid ducts like so that they'll output right away, and it does seem like we'll need a wrench so that we can get it together. And here we go, water. And I tried making another manual farm, but obviously I was idiotic, and when I saw that there were multiple circuit boards, I thought any circuit board would do. Turns out that was just stupid because, frankly, this can only manage 2 things, so I might need to upgrade later so that we can add other things, and we only have the north and south side. North and south, I guess, will do for now, but other than that, we'll just have to be careful in the future. Okay, okay. Yeah, that'll be good. We're going to need to put some light in here because it will be a bit dark. And then just hooking this up right over here. And it rained temporarily. Yes, it did. Okay. How am I going to get out of here with that staircase a little cannibalized? Okay, I didn't think about that. I guess we're going to have to go with a bit more of a horrible staircase than ever before. Fudge! Fudge, okay, you know what we could do, Way? Because you're so smart and everything, we could go the other way around, because, hey, that works too. Okay, so, there we go, we got all that working, so we have all of that energy, etc. going. Now we're going to need to put in some tube stuff, and let's see if this actually works. We're going to need to supply dirt. So let's supply dirt, just simply dirt and other stuff. So let's get a bit of dirt in. Obviously it won't plant it automatically, but we're going to need some fertilizer as well. So let's steal some fertilizer, and now that both access ways are kind of blocked off, wow, that was very smart. Let's just go around and get fertilizer. So fertilizer is actually really the only thing we need other than trees in this operation. So let's shove in the fertilizer into this relay. It's going to go into the input one. Eventually will wind itself up here. Now obviously there's nowhere for it to plant, so that did not work. I'm guessing we have to put the fertilizer at the top, which is a possibility. Which is an annoying possibility, but a possibility nevertheless. Okay, this water is starting to get on my nerves, so I'll make it all infinity later. Infinity, okay, there we go. And then our fertilizer gets shot out like it's a bat out of hell. Wrong episode for that. Okay, so that obviously doesn't work, and this is the correct output, but we need a correct input. So that doesn't go there, it will go on the top instead, and all of this is obviously deconstructed and everything, so we need to put it here instead, and hopefully this will be more likable than before. Okay, like this, and we're going to need to reclaim all of these, because frankly I am a cheapskate and don't like having tubes running around everywhere, because hey, that'd just be too ugly. And then considering the rest of my base, why am I even bothering to say that? Okay, enough with the cheap jibes, shall we? Let's see, we'll need to get this out of the way so that the multi-block array formed, and hopefully that this stuff goes in. Let's just try by doing okay, that might have been a good idea to keep that there, at least temporarily, so that we have everything working. Okay, let's put this here. Fertilizer. Gosh, dang it. So much for being smart enough to put it in the correct slot, unless it's going to need to tell me to, hey, you need to be in the side, which would be even more annoying. Okay. There. Might as well get some stairs going since we're going to be here for a while. Just wait for it to form. And now that it's going to form soon, unless it can't have that there, in which case why even bother having this multi-block structure in the first place. Let's wait for it to form. I'll just move it so that the band's not there. Now let's try it. Fertilizer. Ho! Gosh dang it, and does it have to manually be fed? It says no fertilizer. Now, it probably just means that there's no area for it, so the top may be where it needs to go, though we'll keep it like that for now until we can get it working in a better manner. Let's fill in this with all the stone bricks we need, then put the dirt down and see what it does then. Okay, I think this farm is going to be ready now. All we have to do is grow one of these trees There we go. And it should automatically manage it. Now, it does say that sometimes you have to reset this. So I'm going to reset it so that it actually recognizes all the stone brick that is underneath. And hopefully, as soon as any of the, well, walnuts get, well, ready, it should automatically take everything. Now, it says that there's no fertilizer. I know that there is fertilizer. However, it doesn't seem like it. There we go. Now it automatically ejected itself into this chest. And that is a problem. Okay, no fertilizer. No fertilizer. This is the fertilizer slot, correct? Yeah. So what that probably means is that it's going to need a healthy amount of this stuff right off the bat, which is going to be a bit of an annoyance, but let's just create some of them and just basically humor it. Humor the machine so that it'll be able to automatically detect that it does have the correct material. So we're going to need a bunch of this hummus. And I'm thinking this will be enough. And let's replace this dirt with hummus and see if that does anything. Okay, here we go. Put this in. And it says 241% hydration required. Okay, there we go. We got some fertilizer to go in. And it's not, I guess this is the bank for the fertilizer. It just required a bit of time to determine that. So now all that we need to do is have it so that it'll, well, hopefully it will, you know what I mean, automatically detect whether it has some walnuts at the appropriate place. There's no way to determine that right now, and it's not exactly saying anything. 245% hydration. That is a lot of hydration by rainfall. Oh gosh. That's going to be a bit expensive eventually because there is no rainfall in this age whatsoever. So that is probably going to kill the idea of a manual farm in this area. We might have to go to a rainforest and chunk load that area for this type of farm. That I don't want to do. Now, I believe there were shears somewhere. So what I'm going to do is just take the stuff. Let's just make some more shears. I want to be able to take some of the cherry leaves over from there and speed up the process of determining whether it actually works or not. That should give us enough, well, room for thought, and if it actually works, and no, it doesn't. Let's get my Silk Touch tool. And Silk Touch doesn't actually work on these things. That is a bit annoying, actually. It is a bit annoying. So there's no way to easily determine whether that's actually working or not without having to spend a bit of time. Now that is going to still be a problem, seeing as it's going to ramp up the hydration for a lot more time. That's Well, it's not like we can do anything in the meantime. This requires 107 water and 10 fertilizer per operation. That's going to be a very fun thing. So hopefully all it'll do is slightly slow down the farm. There might be some sort of point where it does require a set amount of water for it to be able to work. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So we're going to have to wait a bit for that to work, and then maybe divert a bit of this to some sort of seed oil production. I'm not too happy with the seed oil production over there because not all machines can access it. So what I'm thinking of doing is just throwing it into the U-list system and then eventually add some words to it. What the? Wasn't there a Sortron here? There was. Gosh dang it. Oh yeah, it was for when... Yeah, that must have occurred when I was trying to fix my world from a fatal crash. That's a bit annoying. Okay, so let's wait a bit, see if this actually works, and we'll know if it works by the fact that there will be a few chestnuts in here. Isn't that nuts? Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this for now so that we'll just have it running, and on the off chance that something were to happen, we will get some sort of output. Now, the only question really remains is whether it takes the whole leaf block or whether it actually just takes the walnuts out of the leaves. If it's the latter, it's going to be a lot better for automation. Now, over here, I just have a simple, well, attempting to start some tree breeding. So just having all, get away from corn kernels. Just having these trees over here so that these alvearies should be able to work on these so that there's some tree mutations. Now, unfortunately, or rather fortunately, I do know that this setup is going to be incredibly slow. What I might do is go to jungle biome eventually and set up a bunch of apiaries so that we can have all of the stuff going at a much faster rate. That being said, I could probably put the trees over here and it might be a bit better. Also, I managed to get some arcane queen bees and managed to find enchanting drops. Now, unfortunately, the use seems rather just, well, stupid in the fact that one, you can get a bucket of honey by using aromatic lumps, the enchanting drops, 2 pollen, and 2 royal jelly. I'd rather just go with a bunch of cultivated bees to be able to get that amount because, frankly, that's just messed up. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Way of Time here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.